Hi, Maureen. This is Ann Huffman. I'm sure you have put your mom to bed by now, but when you check back in the group, you'll see this. This is called typography, and that's where I'm just using your shark as an example. You take an object, of course, I've already traced it, has to be traced, and then I typed out the word, and I used. It says sans serif. I don't know why it says that, but I used impact for my font. So having selected it, I'm going to go to path, object to path, object, and ungroup. Now, let me back up. Should have placed this over the shark. And you just kind of want to have it centered is what you want to do. And I'm going to use the opacity and I'm going to bring it down some. And I'm just clicking on that blue bar and, well, I thought I was, and just kind of making it a little bit more transparent so that I can see the shark behind it as I begin to edit the nodes or the points to manipulate this. And like I said, it's very easy to do. It's just time consuming, and probably no two are alike, so there's no wrong or right way to make this happen. You may not need to make this transparent, but of course I need to. And how I got this was clicking on this icon here. And that's how I got it. So anyway, now that I have it positioned in the right place and I have it transparent enough for me to see it, I'm going to close that, and with my last name highlighted, now I will say path, object to path, object, and then ungroup. And it went right back to that. So, okay, didn't want to play nice with me. There we go. We can do it its ways, no problem. So that's about good enough. So I'm just going to click off of them now. And I'm going to start with this one, the letter N. And I've never shown you all about point editing. I've always told you that I use this edit path by nodes as my magic tool for tracing, because what I'm going to show you really is not the beginner or basic Inkscape. And so I'm not going to answer a lot of questions. I'm not going to answer any questions on it. You all are just going to have to watch this. And if you want to play around with it, play around with it. But this is definitely advanced. So it's not something I'm going to teach, but Maureen has been such a great member. And so I just want to show her what I tried to type. And if you follow what I type, I always end up leaving off keywords, or the head with my grammar and my spelling just isn't there. I'm retired, y'all, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. But anyway, I wanted to show you, Maureen. So now that it's transparent, I have it over on top of the shark. Now comes the time-consuming part of this. So I'm not going to make it perfect. I'm going to do it faster. You're going to take your time and make it all nice and pretty. So I'm going to start with the letter N here. So I'm going to double click on it to get these nodes to show up. Let me just close this over here. And with the nodes, I'm going to drag. You see these little diamonds? Let's see if I can zoom in so you can kind of see these little diamonds here. I'm going to click on it and drag it all the way up to this point at the end of the shark's tail. I don't know if I'm there or not. I think I'm probably there. Close enough. So it gives you a certain amount of these little nodes, but all you have to do is double click on the line. You notice how when you see this thing with the little hand, if I double click, it'll give me another node. So this is where I'm starting at with it. So I'm going to now double click and add a node, and I'm clicking and I'm bringing it in. And in doing so, I need to double click and add a node to kind of bring that out. Same here, double clicking. I'm trying to bring this node. So I need to get one here to sort of bring that one in, probably here. I'll do another one here. As you learn how to do this, you can actually use some of these nodes that they have already set for you up here when you're going on a curve and all of that. But like I said, I'm not going to teach it. I'm just showing you how this is done. This one, I'm going to bring it all the way down here to the end. Make one there. If I'm outside of the black, like right in there, I'll make the adjustment. But let me see what happens when I bring this one in. I'm just clicking and dragging it. So I am going to need to make one there just to bring it out. And I'm really not adding a whole lot to them. So now I'm going to click here and bring that down. Well, I knew I was going to need another node. So now let's see. And I'm just bringing it. I want to make sure that I have enough definition of my in here. So I'm just dragging. I need to add a node here to get it back out to the black part of it. So I'm good with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this node here. I'm going to click it and drag it to maybe here, because you still want the shape of the end, but you don't want it to be too deformed. But it does need something to go with the tail. So even here, I know that I really need to put another node there. Bring it there, and let's see how far I get with this one to bring it there. Halfway okay. I'm really not happy with too much there, so I'm going to take this one and I'm just moving it over again, trying to still keep my letter in on it. So let's see here if I can bring that to that point and bring this down. So I kind of sort of have the end. Once you see my name is Huffman, the rest of it will kind of come into place. So I'm going to click off of that, because when we're done, I'm going to move this shark out of the way, and then you're going to have the letter. So let me just zoom back out now. I can find my down here. And so I'm going to do the letter H now. And I know that, let me click on the select tool. What I want to do, because you know I'm pretty messy with stuff, I need to move this over because I want to make it bigger. So now let me zoom in, and we're going to work on the H to get the mouth and all of that. So the font makes a difference. If you get it too thick, it looks too chunky. If you make it too thin, you're going to get just lines. So that makes a big difference. So with this, I'm going to click on this one and bring it to here. And I'm going to, I know I have to have at least another node. And this is just something, again, where you will just play with it. That gets me there. I need to go out to the mouth. So I'm going to put one here, because I'm just trying to get down around to his mouth. I can click here and start trying to bring one in to make that part of his mouth, if that's what I really want to do. And let me zoom in. Put another one maybe there to help bring that out. This is out too far here, so I need one there. And for this one, I'm still trying to bring it in some. probably one there, even though it's super close, if I want to get the mouth, and that's what I want. Now I'm going to probably just go ahead and click here, put one there, and I'm just adding some now because I want to be able to keep the mouth. Bring that up some. And let's see, how much further can I come down? Here. And let me zoom out and try and catch some more of this. Now at the top, I can just bring this one down. I probably could have just clicked on one of these, and I think I will. I think it's highlighted, and I'll hit the delete key just to get rid of it. I don't think I need this one. And now when I deleted one that I really needed, you see a handle here. If I click the handle, it brings it like that, just by clicking that handle. So that's another one there. So now I've got at least I need to keep some of my H. So I guess that was kind of dumb on my part. So let me get back up here. Trying to figure out how to get some of it in here, and that just really deforms that. So let me go back a couple steps on it. And it's because I'm trying to put the letter H and still get his mouth shape in there. But my font is so thick that it makes it difficult for me to achieve what I really want to do. So I have to really think about where I want my definition to show up at with my letter H. So H is going to be a little bit outside of the shark, which means that it's going to affect the other letters as well. But I need to bring the other part of this H up here in order to make sure that, you know, people, when they read it, they will know that it is the letter H. And I've got a slant going on, so I'm just double clicking to kind of bring these things out. And I can use these, that just rounds things for me. But of course, I wanted to make sure that they were straight. So I'm going to leave that one where it is. So with my letter, let me click off of it. So it's going to look like the shark, but that's something that you're going to, because I think your letter starts with the letter H as well. So you either need to find a shark that has a more rounded head and not such a sharp triangular shaped head. So I'm going to click on this U now and try to bring it down. And I'm stuck at this point of this level right here for the letter H. That's where I'm going to have to put all of my letters, or they're going to look really crazy if I don't. I need to bring these over, and you notice I've got handles now. Those handles just makes things round them off. So let's see here. There's that handle. And the same thing for here. That's the only part about it, because normally I would try to go right in line with where the shark line is, but we ran into a problem with my letter H here. That bothers me. So I'm thinking that I have an idea. We shall see. That I'll go here, add one, go here, bring it out some. I could probably delete these at the top because I don't need them. And that there. This one, when it highlights it, I'm going to delete it. And this is just telling me with the handles how I can bring it down or whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and double click on that one and delete it. And I'm going to try and delete these handles. I don't think I need them quite so much. So you see how my H ended up looking? And I've got something really wonky going on here. So I think I'm just going to hit the delete key. That's where these handles, they're good for curve, but I'm not trying to curve anything because I want to bring this up to here. See, I don't want to curve anything else, so I'm just selecting them and deleting it. And I'm going to delete this one too. And I'm just going to hopefully be able to add my own node to it. And I want to make this closer to the H so that I don't have too much of the shark out there. Let's see. Down a little bit. And probably a node right there to bring it in. And so I'm hoping that you're kind of getting the gist of how this thing works. And I'm certainly doing a sloppy job with it. Now, again, it's all in the placement. So I take this F. I've got to make the bottom of my F come out to his fin. So I'm coming here. I've got to add one to at least get me down somewhat to this point with it. And then I'll add some more to help me to get some of this fin going. And that gets me to that point with him. But I'm going to have to bring something down in order to cover this black part of it. So hopefully I haven't discouraged you from it. It certainly is a nice little challenge to do. And like I say, it's not hard to do. It's just trying to make everything that you want to do work with it. And all you have to do at some point is just double click on the line and add you some more nodes to make everything kind of blend in where you want. And you can slide them up and down as well. So this gives me the F, but it's sort of a funky looking F. So mine is going to be really thick here just to give some definition to my letter F. So if I say I'm done with that one, then I go here. I'm just going to add a node. I'm going to grab this one and bring it all the way up here to the top and a little closer to this other one. That means I've got to add another node here somewhere, one here in the middle, one there to bring it over. I've got this one. I'm just bringing it down a little, and I have this one. So you see what's happening is I'm losing some of the definition of my second letter F, all because of the fin. So the only way to get me more of it is I'm going to have to add a node and bring some of this down. And even bring some of this down just to try and fill in some of my space. And we still have a lot of space going here. So I would create one here and start trying to bring these out so they almost touch to fill up some of the space of it. Let me go back here, put one. And let's see if it lets me slide over. Yes, it does. So now I'll do this one. Of course, what happened? Where's my shark? I don't know what happened there. So let me click on this one now, and I'm going to bring this over. I didn't finish with this one. Trying to figure out how I'm going to fill in some of that space. So the Huffman name certainly would not be a good choice for a shark with how it's shaped. So now with this one, and that's all it is, just clicking and dragging, double clicking to add you another one in there until you learn what all of these different things will do. They're just shortcuts so that you don't have to do everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to stretch this M to cover that part of it and still keep trying to cover it. So I put one here. Oh, let me bring this one up. That one in. I'll add another one to bring it. And let's see here. Didn't really have to add another one to it. Something's going on here. So with this one, I'm going to hit the delete key because I don't need it. And my last one is this letter A. So again, I want to be close to the M. I'm going to add one somewhere in here to pull it a little bit away from it. Here. And you see how much I have with this. So I'm going to have to move that up some in order to still keep some definition of my letter A. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. I probably should have just held the shift key down. I don't want to get out there. Add one. Bring one there. This, I don't really want to use these handles on this because all they want to do is to give me, they want to, I'll show you. See, it wants to make it that way. I want to do sharp parts with mine so that I can move this up some. That's what my goal is. I'm trying to grab some of this so that you can still see my letter A. There. Let's see how far. Not too far. And here's the other kicker with the A is the N is going to have to come over some in order to finish making it, or this A is really going to be deformed as I see. That would be my A. The only problem is I'm not satisfied at the fact that that there, and I need another one there. Kind of bring it out. It's like my A is completely deformed all the way around. Just trying to make it, force it to take this shape. There. And so now I'm going to go back to my N over here, double click it, and now I'm trying to bring it out some. So, oh, this one here. Let me get that. Thought I was almost done. Double click. Go in there. So, this was not the best. Now, let me see if I can move it out of the way. And it's out of the way. And so there's my HUFFMAN in the shape of this shark. So I'm going to highlight it, go back over here to the properties and increase the opacity to where it is. I will group it, and that's my name in the shape of the shark. So simple to do, just very time consuming. And, you know, if you're a perfectionist like me, it might take you a year to really get it right. So every shape is not going to necessarily be compatible to the word that you're about, maybe what font you want to use. Because you're just manipulating things. So I'm going to end this at this point, Maureen. I hope that this inspires you to learn more about it. I don't have anything else that I can add at this point to it. So just, I can't even say tag me. I just hope that this helped you out. Let me just end this at this point.